Today, I want to attempt something that I have not done in over 15 years. Painting. I used to dabble a little bit with acrylic paints back in the day, but as I said, I haven't done this for a long time, and I would like to get back into it, and I thought this project that I'm working on would be a good opportunity to do that. Some of you may remember back in, I believe it was about March, I made a video where I documented my week without crochet, and one of the tasks that I did within that week was to prep my canvas. Originally, this project involved crocheting myself a background with tapestry crochet. I even went so far as to draw like a quick sketch, a mock-up of the background that I wanted, and I was going to pixelate that and then turn it into like a tapestry crochet graph. But given the restrictions that I'm currently under in regards to how much I can crochet, that's just not going to be feasible, especially with all the additional crochet that I want to do to add to this piece. So instead, I've decided to paint myself a background. No idea how this is going to turn out because it's been so long since I actually painted on a canvas, but I figure I can just cover up any of my mistakes with crochet. Is that a bug flying around? Yes, it is. I see you. Go away, please. Go away. I'm going to have to devise a new plan because my canvas is not going to fit on my table here. It's not going to fit vertically this way, it's too long. And if I work horizontally, so have my canvas facing this way, there's not going to be enough room for all of my supplies. And while I could put them, say, here, that's just a lot of getting up and down that my body probably can't handle. So it's time for plan B. What plan B is, I don't know, but it's time for it. Thought of plan B while I was getting changed into my paint safe clothes. But it's going to require I move and or cover a lot of this stuff. Removing one canvas to replace it with another. Oh, I forgot how heavy that thing was. If I cover that, that should be fine. I don't really want to move that because I'll have to unplug everything else, and if I can just cover it and get away with it, that's good. Bulldog clip. Bulldog clip might be the solution. That worked much better than I thought it would. And I'm going to put another one here. Look, it's not perfect, but I don't really have any more options. This is basically it. I used to have an easel, but I don't know where that is, or if I still even have it anymore. We'll just see how this works out. Maybe I shouldn't put my tea over here. I do not want to get those mixed up. I may or may not have done that in the past. What a waste of a perfectly good cup of tea. Yeah, you can stay there. So I think I'm finally all set to go. I am really just going to wing it here. I have an idea in mind. I would like a night scene, just a very basic landscape. I don't want to do anything more complicated than that, not only because this is my first time painting after such a long time, but also because most of the foreground details are going to be made using crochet. I'm actually a bit nervous to be starting this project. I shouldn't be. I mean, it's just a bit of paint on canvas. Even if I screw it up, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't want to screw it up. Yeah, I have a general idea of what I want. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to channel my inner Bob Ross, and I would like to think he would be proud of me for attempting to paint after so long, even if I do bugger it up. I've forgotten how relaxing it was to just sit there and lose yourself in the brush strokes. It's very similar to the feeling I get when I'm just crocheting and I zone out a little bit and my hands are just working off muscle memory. It's that kind of almost meditation, I suppose. But that is my sky done. It's not quite as purple as I was going for. I was going for more purple and blue. Surprise, surprise. But I didn't really like the way the darker blue and the sort of crimson-y colour I was using mixed together. I wasn't a fan of that purple. And because it's been so long, I don't have a great colour selection of paints left, so I'm basically just using what I have. But I don't think that looks too bad. It's got the night sky effect that I was going for. I've left this area unpainted for now because I'd like to do some water, whether that's the sea or a lake, not quite sure, but I want to do some water here. And this section, see where that line is? This section here is going to be crocheted. Well, there's actually going to be styrofoam first to give it a bit of dimension, and then I'm going to put crochet over that. So I might paint a little bit past that because I can adjust the height of this piece. But for the most part, I'm going to leave this section blank. I'm just really focusing on here for now. So the next thing I want to do is the water. I want to give that a bit of a green undertone, but the only green that I've got that even sort of works with this color palette here is that one. It's not a great match, but all the others are literally bright greens that I've got, and they are way off base. So I'm hoping I might be able to make this work by mixing a bit of this, and some white. That's probably the best I'm going to be able to do. And after I've done that, so once I've done the water, I'm going to paint a moon. I've cut out 3 circles because I want to get a nice round shape. And I'm not sure which size I want to go with. Because I haven't done all the crochet pieces yet, I think the perspective is going to be a little bit off. I mean, there's so many different ways I can go about it. I don't know what I'm going to use yet, so it's hard to judge like the perspective of the painting. Not what I was originally going for, but I think it still works. It's giving me sea vibes. Now it's moon time. I'm actually looking forward to doing this bit. It's kind of, I think it's going to be the make or break moment, because if I screw it up, I kind of ruin the whole canvas. But if I get it right, I think it'll look pretty good. The only thing is I have to decide what size I want to go with. I know I want it sort of off center, so maybe like here. But do I go that, or that? I think the middle, just in case the small one's too small, the large one's too large. I'm gonna play it safe and go with the middle size. And I want it about there, I guess. That went both better and worse than I expected it to. I haven't done the toothbrush thing in so long, so I've definitely screwed up. There was a couple of times I just had too much paint on the toothbrush. I didn't get the technique right, and I think I misjudged the distance as well. But overall, I think I did okay on the Moon Glow. We'll remove this in a sec and see the full effect. But for these, again, I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera. As you can see in the close-up view, there's quite a few large splotches, which I didn't really want there, but they're there now. And I actually already have a plan to potentially combat those. It will just depend on how the rest of this project comes together. But for now, let me remove this. Okay, that's a decent moon glow. Now to finish it off, I just have to paint the moon itself. Ooh, goody! Another opportunity for me to bugger something up. I'm going to call it there for the moon. I don't think I did a great job. I don't like how that looks. I'm trying not to be too hard on myself, seeing as I'm just getting back into painting. So, you know what? For what it is, I think it's okay. Now I'm just going to add the last few sort of details I want. I'm probably going to add like a tree line, add some detail to the surface of the water. And that's probably about it. I don't really need to add anything more than that. Like with the moon, the moonlight reflecting on the water is just kind of meh, but you know what, that doesn't matter. I am really enjoying myself just sitting here and painting. I didn't realise how much I'd missed it until I just started painting today, so I might actually keep at it if I have the time, and hopefully I can improve upon what I've done here today. But the last thing I want to get done is the sort of the tree line. So here's what happened. I was intending to do like a tree line, but then as I was about to say crocheting, as I was painting this section here, I realized I went like down past the horizon, which I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have them sort of level. So I just decided to make these rock formations instead. I considered painting actual trees, just like a couple shadowy figures in the background, but once again I plan to crochet a tree, so even if I did that, I'm pretty sure if I crochet what I'm planning to at this stage, that would probably get covered up anyway, so I just left it. I'd rather crochet myself the tree that I'm imagining in my head. Honestly, the deeper I get into this, the more out of practice I realize that I am, but usually when like things don't turn out how I planned or how I want them to, you know, I do get a little bit frustrated. It's not always the most pleasant feeling when your plans don't come to fruition. But in this case, even though I'm not doing a fantastic job, I'm still just having a blast sitting here and painting. And like, it doesn't look too bad. It's very probably like first year art student, but I don't know, I like it, I'm having fun. I'm just really glad that I decided to paint this portion of the project because I'm loving it. What a great way to spend an afternoon. I've just got one more thing I want to do. I want to add sort of a bit of wave action, a bit of sea foam around the bottom of my rock formations here, and then I'm probably going to call it quits. I don't need to add anything else. And here we go. This is what I've got. I thoroughly enjoyed my craft session today. Obviously, I love to crochet, but ever since I first learnt to do so, I sort of got tunnel vision, and that's pretty much all I've done since. I've dabbled in other things here and there, but I've never really given them any of the other crafts the time that I have crochet. And now that I've got back into painting, I'll have to keep this up. I have so many canvases to use, so maybe in the future there is more projects that I can combine painting and crochet somehow. But there is other crafts and hobbies that I would like to get back into now too, like sewing, drawing. I have a whole heap of clay that my sister gave me that I've never even used, so maybe we can do that at some point as well. I am going to let this dry now. I'll probably bring you guys back tomorrow when that's done, and we can wrap things up then. But for now, I am going to spend the next probably hour or so cleaning up. So final thoughts. Yes, there are a lot of, we're not calling them mistakes, we're calling them happy accidents in my painting, which is just to be expected, to be honest. But overall, I like how this has turned out. I like the colours that I ended up with. I was a little bit disappointed I didn't get a bit more purple in the sky, but I think I mentioned at one point that I just didn't like the way the blue that I was using, or the darker blue that I was using, and the red that I had were blending together. It just wasn't producing a nice purple. But not having that purple like in the sky doesn't diminish the overall painting too much, I don't think. Just overall, I'm pleased with what I've got, and I can't wait to get started on stage 2, where I add the crochet around it. You know what, before we finish, let's play a little game. I'm actually interested to know, Can any of you guess what it is I'm trying to do here? To me, it seems obvious, but like obviously to me, it seems obvious. I already know what I want to make. So if you think you have an idea of what the end product is going to be, pop that down in the comments. I just like to see what direction your minds go in. I am honestly considering at this point somehow introducing more painting into crochet projects, kind of that mixed media element that I like to do sometimes, because I just so enjoyed doing this. I really did. And like, I'm probably going to do some stuff like off camera too. Not everything I make has to end up on YouTube. In fact, I don't want everything I make to end up on YouTube. But I think I'd certainly like to include a bit more painting going forward. So let me know what you all think. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, share it if you think it's worth sharing, and I will see you in the next one. Hey everyone, Editingly here. I have a confession to make. I completely forgot about the hookup this week. It just totally slipped my mind. I don't know if it's because it's been a stressful couple of weeks, but for whatever reason I just didn't think of it. So I apologize for that. I will do my best to make sure I remember it for next week. So I will see you then.